Have you ever felt like you were pleading for love? And not just in romantic relationships, but in friendships, family dynamics, or even work environments. That draining, exhausting feeling of constantly seeking approval, hoping someone, anyone, will notice you, appreciate you, offer a bit of the affection you feel you're missing. It's like being stuck in an emotional desert, endlessly reaching for a drop of water that never comes. But here's a perspective that could change how you see everything. The moment you stop chasing love, something powerful awakens inside you. And this isn't just a motivational idea. It's rooted in the work of Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist who explored the deepest layers of the human psyche. Today, you'll discover what begins to unfold when you release the need for external love and begin to reconnect with the vast capacity for love already within you. This journey, grounded in Jung's pioneering insights, does more than change how you see yourself. It reshapes how you engage with others and how you live your life each day. Jung believed that each of us carries a vast inner world, an entire universe filled with our truths, fears, longings, and yes, our most authentic love. But rather than look inward, many of us turn our attention outward. We pour energy into gaining approval, hoping others will provide what we haven't yet learned to give ourselves. Maybe this sounds familiar. Maybe when someone doesn't text you back, you feel inadequate. Or when your efforts aren't acknowledged by your boss, your friends, or even your family, you start to wonder if something is wrong with you. According to Jung, this is one of our biggest missteps. Seeking love outside of ourselves is a sign of disconnection from the inner source that already contains everything we're looking for. Think about it. How many nights have you lain awake wondering why someone didn't reply? How often have you given your time, energy, even your tears to a relationship only to feel empty when it wasn't reciprocated? It can feel like offering your soul on a silver platter, silently hoping someone will accept it. But Jung teaches us something deeply important. That emptiness you feel, no one else can fill it. That void is a message from your unconscious, the part of you where your instincts, dreams, and truths live. When you're begging for love, your unconscious isn't quiet. It's trying to get your attention. It's saying, "Look at me, I'm here, I matter." But the unconscious doesn't speak in plain language. It communicates through symbols, emotions, and those gut instincts you often dismiss. Picture being with someone who subtly makes you feel small. On the surface, they seem kind and supportive. They say the right things. They show up. But inside, you feel tension, a tight chest, a knot in your stomach, a quiet voice whispering, "This doesn't feel right." That's not your imagination. That's your unconscious speaking. And if you continue to ignore it while begging for love from someone who doesn't see your worth, you're not just neglecting yourself, you're betraying yourself. And that betrayal comes with a cost. Your peace fades, your energy depletes, and over time your authentic self begins to disappear. Let's pause. Take a breath. Think of a relationship, romantic, platonic, or familial, where you found yourself constantly seeking love. Really picture it. How does it feel? Draining, frustrating, lonely? Hold on to that feeling. We're going to come back to it. Jung had a name for this inner struggle: the shadow. The shadow is the part of ourselves we try to hide, our insecurities, our suppressed anger, the parts we don't want others to see, that voice that says, "I'm not enough," the anger you feel when ignored. When you beg for love, you're feeding this shadow, giving it more influence over your life. And here's the truth: you're not alone. Everyone at some point has walked this difficult path. We've all searched outside ourselves for something that only exists within. We've all confused attention for affection or taken silence as rejection. But here's a deeper truth. The love you're searching for already exists within you. It always And when you begin to truly feel that, not just as a concept but as a real grounded experience, everything begins to change. You stop compromising. You stop pursuing. You naturally begin to draw in people and experiences that reflect your sense of value because you finally recognize it for yourself. Carl Jung didn't just chart the workings of the mind. He offered a mirror, one that, if we have the courage to face, reveals not only our pain, but also our potential. That's what this journey is truly about. Not about becoming someone else, but about returning to the version of yourself that existed before you believed you were undeserving of love. When you keep seeking love, attention, or approval from others, you gradually wear yourself down. It's like having a tank full of emotional energy, fuel meant to support your growth, your goals, your well-being, but instead, you spend it trying to please people who don't know how or aren't willing to give anything back. And the harsh reality is, most of them never even try. Jung would argue that protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. Your energy is what wakes you up in the morning. It powers your ambitions, helps you give and receive love, and sustains you through difficult times. But if that same energy is constantly spent seeking attention or trying to prove your worth, what's left for you? What do you preserve for yourself? Imagine for a second that you're a plant, full of life, potential, the ability to thrive. But no one waters you. Day after day, you wait. You reach for light, trying to survive, but without nourishment, you start to wither. That's what happens to your spirit when you rely solely on others to give you the love and validation you should first be giving yourself. Letting go of the need to beg isn't cold. It's care. It's choosing to give yourself the attention, kindness, and emotional support you've been hoping someone else would offer. It's the first step toward inner growth. Here's a practical step you can take right now, an exercise grounded in Jung's work. Grab a notebook, open to a blank page. At the top, write this question: where am I begging for love? And be honest with yourself. Completely honest. Maybe it's in your relationship, with a partner who's distant, distracted, or emotionally unavailable. Maybe it's with your parent, the one who always finds fault. Your looks, your choices, your ambitions, but never says, "I'm proud of you." Or maybe it's within you. Maybe you've become your harshest critic, punishing yourself for every mistake, never feeling like you measure up. Write it all down. Every place where your soul is reaching outward in search of something it's not receiving. Then ask yourself, what might change if I stopped begging for this? Don't rush to take action. You don't need to make any big decisions right now. Just reflect, let the question sit with you. This is about starting a dialogue with your unconscious, about paying attention to that quiet inner voice that's been whispering all along, "I deserve more." And while we're on the subject of letting go, what if I told you that the moment you stop begging for love, the relationships that no longer serve you begin to fall away? It's not a trick. It's your unconscious mind finally aligning with your inner truth. Jung believed that the people we draw into our lives are mirrors of our inner state. So if you're constantly feeling unworthy, if you're living in a pattern of emotional dependence, you'll attract people who reflect that same dynamic. People who withhold, who diminish, who make you believe love must be earned. But when you shift, when you stand firm and say, "I'm done begging," something powerful unfolds. The world begins to respond. The people who are not aligned with your true self naturally drift away, and in their place you begin to encounter individuals who recognize your worth immediately, who love freely without demands, and who match your energy without requiring you to shrink. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you for a small action. If anything you've heard so far has resonated with you, if it's touched something within, tap the like button. And in the comments write, "I am ready to stop begging." It might seem like a small gesture, but it's meaningful. Every time you state your intention aloud, even in a comment, it grows stronger. You plant a seed of change, and if you know someone, a friend, a sibling, anyone you care about, who's stuck in a cycle of seeking love that only hurts or depletes them, share this with them. Because together, we can shift these patterns. We can choose relationships that uplift instead of relationships that exhaust. So what happens next, once you release that urge to beg for love? Something important. Your shadow begins to rise. That hidden, neglected part of you, the part you've tried to silence, starts to speak, and with it comes the fear of rejection, that deep-rooted insecurity, the urgent desire to be liked. It all eventually surfaces, and yes, it's uncomfortable. It can even be frightening to face the parts of yourself you've tried to avoid for so long, but it's also freeing. Because when you stop avoiding your shadow and start paying attention to it, real healing can begin. Carl Jung taught that integrating the shadow isn't about erasing it. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about recognizing that even your darker aspects are still parts of you. Take this for example. Maybe your habit of seeking love stems from a fear of being alone. Acknowledging that fear, naming it, is the first step toward transformation. You don't need to deny its existence. You just need to face it and say, I see you, but you don't get to lead anymore. That's power. That's self-respect. Not the polished, filtered version of self-love often shown online, but the real kind. Honest, raw, and genuinely transformative. The idea of stopping the chase and choosing to love yourself sounds simple on the surface, but there's deep symbolism in those words, something Jung deeply valued. Symbols for Jung had immense influence. They reached parts of the psyche that logic couldn't access. In this case, learning to let go, truly let go, is one of the most meaningful symbolic acts you can make. When you release what no longer serves you, your reality begins to shift. Energy changes. Connections that were never truly in sync with. Your inner truth begin to fall away, and you don't have to push, argue, or plead. The simple act of no longer chasing alters your energy. It shifts your entire emotional frequency. Jung also spoke of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that appear random but aren't. They're signs, markers of alignment. When you live in tune with your inner self, the world responds in kind. Picture this. You finally decide to stop pursuing that friend who always seems too busy. You stop sending that final text. You let go of forcing a connection that only leaves you feeling ignored. And then, out of nowhere, you meet someone, at work, at a cafe, who sees and appreciates you for who you are. No effort, no proving. That's synchronicity. That's the universe responding. Not because you tried harder, but because you let go. When you align with your true self, what you need finds you naturally. But let's be real, it's not always smooth. Letting go also means making space. There's often a void that follows when you stop begging for love, especially when that longing has been a constant part of you. At first, that space can feel empty, even painful, but Jung believed that this void wasn't something to avoid. In fact, he saw it as sacred. It's a space where genuine, healthy growth can begin. Think of pruning a tree not to harm it, but to remove what no longer serves its growth so it can flourish fully. Let me share a story about Marisol. She's 45, and for most of her life, she sought her emotionally distant mother's approval. No matter what she achieved, she never felt truly seen. When she finally chose to stop needing that validation, it felt like a small loss. She cried, she mourned. It felt like something was missing, but what she actually lost was a weight she didn't need to carry. With time, that emotional space, filled with meaningful friendships, with a deeper peace, and with a self-love she had never truly experienced. Let's pause here. If anything in this message resonates with you, if it speaks to where you are, take a moment and comment, I am releasing what no longer serves me. And if someone came to mind, a cousin in a toxic relationship, a friend chasing validation, share this message with them. Every like, comment, and share helps spread this reminder to those who need it most. Now imagine this. What if we all stopped seeking love through desperation at the same time? What kind of world could we build? What kind of peace might we finally feel? Because when you stop begging, it doesn't just shift your current relationships, it changes who you draw into your life. Carl Jung believed that our relationships reflect our inner reality. So if you're always chasing, pleading, or trying to earn love, you're likely attracting people who keep you in that cycle. Those who take more than they give, who validate your worth only when you're exhausted from trying to prove it. But once you stop, once you say, "My love begins with me," everything starts to shift. You begin to attract those who recognize your value immediately. People who don't need to be convinced, who don't make you prove you're worthy, who appreciate you simply for being yourself. Think of begging for love like carrying a magnet that draws in drama, chaos, and emotionally draining connections. When you let go of that magnet, when you stop sending out that signal, your energy changes. You start to attract peace, respect, and genuine nurturing connection. It's not that the entire world changes. You change. You shift your relationship to it. Jung described this as integration, bringing together all aspects of yourself, both the light and the shadow, and living from a place of authenticity. From there, love is no longer something you chase. It becomes something you offer, something that flows naturally. Take a moment, breathe. Let's picture this together. Your life without the need to beg. How would it feel to wake up each day knowing you are enough, without needing constant external validation? Hold on to that vision, because soon we'll explore how to bring that life into reality step by step. But for now, just breathe. Trust that you're already moving toward a powerful shift the moment you stopped begging. We've already walked a meaningful path together. We've looked at how begging for love disconnects you from your true self, how your unconscious mind may be quietly urging you to stop, and how letting go of that need can reshape your relationships from the inside out. But let's end this chapter with something deeper, what it truly means to live from your truth, your authentic self. Jung left us a profound legacy. He showed us that real fulfillment doesn't come from others. It comes from aligning with who you really are. And when you stop begging for love, you discover something incredible. Everything you were searching for was always within you. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. Maybe for years, that mirror reflected a distorted version of yourself, someone who believed they had to earn love. But when you stop begging, the mirror clears. And for the first time, you see yourself whole, worthy, lovable, just as you are. This is what Jung called individuation. It's not about becoming flawless. It's about becoming fully yourself, light and shadow, joy and pain, all of it. And from that place, love is no longer something you pursue. It becomes a gift you share. Let's pause again. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what part of me have I been hiding to feel loved? Maybe it's your bold laugh. Maybe it's that dream you've tucked away, the one you've been scared to reveal. Whatever it is, carry that question with you, because next we'll look at how to bring that hidden part into the light. Jung said, the unconscious is always pushing you toward your truth, but you must listen, and listening requires action. So, here's a small, powerful step you can take today. Write down 3 things you genuinely love about yourself. They don't have to be grand. Maybe it's how you uplift your friends, or how you stay strong during hard times. Next, list 3 things you would do if you weren't afraid of rejection. Maybe you'd finally set a boundary. Maybe you'd start that project you've been delaying. This practice is like making a promise to your inner self. You're telling your unconscious, I see you, I hear you, and I will act. When you begin living from this place, love stops being a plea and becomes a natural rhythm in your life. Now let's clarify. Choosing not to beg doesn't mean isolating yourself. Jung wasn't a recluse. He believed in connection. But true connection only thrives in authenticity. Take Laura, 38 years old. She always felt she had to be the funny one to be accepted, but when she stopped chasing approval and allowed herself to show up seriously or quietly when that was true, for her, something unexpected happened. Her real friends stayed. That's the truth about genuine love. It doesn't require you to bend yourself out of shape. It sees you and chooses you as you are. So how do we carry this into everyday life? Jung offered us tools. One of the most important is active reflection. The next time you feel the urge to chase after love, maybe when someone doesn't text back or when a smile you hoped for never comes, pause and ask yourself, what do I need from myself right now? Maybe it's rest, maybe reassurance, maybe it's a simple hug from you to you. Another key tool, boundaries. If someone consistently drains you, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Jung saw this as essential to becoming your whole self. Let's reflect. Think of a relationship where you give more than you receive. Now imagine setting a boundary there. You don't have to act yet, just visualize it. Maybe you say, I need to feel heard, or I can't always be available. That one decision could shift the whole dynamic. You stop begging and start connecting from a place of strength. And when you do that, something remarkable often happens. Synchronicity. Jung loved this concept. Seemingly random events that carry deep significance. You stop pleading for an ex to come back, and someone new enters who sees you clearly. You walk away from a draining job, and a better opportunity appears. This isn't wishful thinking. It's what happens when you align with your truth. The universe, or your unconscious, responds. Before we close, I want you to do something. If this message resonates with you, comment below. I choose my authenticity. And if someone you love is still stuck chasing approval, a sister in a toxic relationship, a friend always giving too much, send this to them. Every share helps wake up a heart that's ready. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This isn't just a video, it's a community. And you're part of it. So what truly happens when you stop begging for love? You return to yourself. Your shadow becomes your teacher, not your enemy. Your relationships shed drama and reveal truth. Your forgotten dreams begin to breathe again. And most importantly, you find peace, not a surface-level calm, but a deep, abiding sense of wholeness that comes from knowing you are already enough. To borrow Jung's wisdom, when you beg for love, you lose your essence. But when you let go, you reclaim your shadow, tune into your unconscious, and begin living from your core truth. From there, love flows, effortlessly. So I'll leave you with this. The love you've been searching for is already inside you. Stop chasing it outside. Start embodying it within. That's the transformation I hoped you'd find today. Take a moment now. Reflect. What will you let go of? What's one step you'll take toward loving yourself more? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to read it. And if this message sparked something in you, share it. Someone else out there may be waiting for this exact nudge. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this transformation. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, real change begins with you. The world needs your light. I'll be here when you're ready.